Hi there, Kira here with another scrapbook layout process video for my guest design spot for Pink Paislee. I'm using the new Paige Evans collection called Pick Me Up, and I'm going to start with this pink striped paper. And I cut out my title on my Cricut. This is one of my favorite fonts to use when I make a cut file, just because it's nice and big and blocky. I think it's called Blackout. I got it on defont.com. Anyways, I cut out my title, and it's just Ducky. It's going to be my title because I'm scrapping a photo of my son, Jonathan, at the duck pond. And I just cut it out on plain white cardstock, and then I fussy cut from one of the papers in the collection all of these floral pieces. And I'm going to kind of have these peeking out from the letters, just like you see now. But yeah, I kind of mess with like the placement of the flowers like multiple times. So yeah, I'm kind of liking how that's looking. I'm like, okay, yeah, I like this. Let's get a photo printed so I can start messing with the placement of that. And I had originally thought that I was going to just place my photo like right on top of the letters or like maybe down below the title. I didn't really know what I was going to do. But then I was like, hey, I could probably stick the photos like in the letters because you'd still be able to see him. So I decided to do that. So I went with the U because even though the D has like the most space in it where you could see the photo, I didn't like that it was like all the way to the left. Like it was bugging. It would have bugged me if it was like the only photo in there and it was all the way to the left. So I went with a U, and I think that visually it was more pleasing to the eye to place the picture in the U. I thought for a little bit that I was going to go with a second photo, so I printed a second one out, but I didn't end up liking it in there, so I decided, nope, that wasn't going to work. So I'm just going to go with the one, and I'm just going to place it in that lower U, and I'm going to mess around with flowers more, even though this is not at all where they're going to end up, so I don't know why I'm messing with them so much. So I'm going to grab a pen, and I think I'm going to mark where I'm going to cut my photo, but that's not, and it didn't end up marking it, so I have to do it again. So yeah, I go to cut, and I'm like, it didn't show up. Okay, let's mark it again. But let's make sure that it's marking the picture before we go to try and cut it. How about that? Okay, yeah. Is it working? Okay, yeah, I think it worked now. Okay, so we can cut it. So go ahead and cut that down. And then once I cut that down, and I'm like, okay, that'll work, I'm going to go ahead and back this entire sheet with foam, which took a little bit of time. That's okay because I wanted to give it that dimension. So yeah, I just backed the entire thing, and I stuck my photo on there, and then I go ahead and adhere it right down on that paper. Perfect. Now I'm going to go ahead and place the flowers down again, not at all where they were previously or the time before that was not on camera. And yeah, go ahead and play with those. I had originally, when I started making this layout, this is the third try, actually. What you're seeing here is the third attempt. So I had originally thought, I don't know what's going on with the lighting here. That's weird. Anyways, I was going to stitch around the title. So I had cut this out, poked some holes, stitched the entire letter D in blue thread, and I didn't like it. So I was like, okay, no blue thread. So then I cut it out again with my Cricut. I poked all of the holes again, and I stitched around the entire D. Well, not the entire D, but about half the D I stitched around, and it kept ripping. Like the paper kept ripping when I was trying to stitch it. So I was like, nope, not stitching it, because it was turning into such a pain in the butt. So I was like, I'm not even going to stress myself out about stitching around it. And although the stitching would have looked cool and it would have added another bit of texture and dimension to the layout. I think that it turns out really cool regardless, so I'm not disappointed. Well, I'm not too disappointed that it didn't work out. It was just one of those things that it just wasn't going to happen. And if it's not going to happen for you, like, just move on. Like, there's no reason to stress yourself out about a scrapbook layout. Like, it's just a scrapbook layout. So yeah, now I'm going to go ahead and embellish, and I'm going to be completely honest with you that it was really hard to embellish this page. It looks easy as I'm watching this. I'm like, oh, I'm just like throwing stuff down. Like, I know what I'm doing, but it was really tough for me to pick out embellishments because I felt like the flowers kind of did all of the work for me here. But then I was like, I can't just like not use all of these adorable embellishments that are included in this collection. Like, I have to use more stuff. So I looked through the stickers and pulled out, there was like a couple little phrases that were cute. Like, there was one that was like born to fly, and I was like, oh, that's cute because we're at the duck pond. And then other things like I think wander was one of them, sunshine, blue skies, which here in San Antonio, it's sunshine, blue skies like the majority of the time. So I thought those were kind of fitting for this layout. And in the collection, there's like these little, I think they're herrings. They look like herrings. And although we're at a duck pond and there's only ducks like in the pictures, but there are herring at our duck pond a lot. You see them. They're like big, tall, white ones. They're really cool. So I really wanted to use those on this layout. And so I went ahead and stuck the pink one down below with a chipboard floral piece. And then there's a puffy sticker one too. So I'm in the puffy stickers right now. And I decided to use the puffy sticker one as well, and I'll put him up in the J. And I love the puffy stickers because there's these little tiny pieces in them that are like little flower, little buttons, and like little stars, and they're just perfect. So yeah, I just kind of scattered a little bit of those around too. Also, there's some puffy floral pieces that match the florals. Basically, this kind of floral type is all through the collection. So you'll see like I have some stickers on the layout, some chipboard, some puffy stickers, and then obviously my fussy cut pieces. There's also rub-ons in this collection. So I decided to just basically use a little bit of everything with the embellishments. I went a little embellishment crazy. So I go ahead and put some flower rub-ons up top, and then I think I cut out some little hearts that I'm going to put down at the bottom. And I decided to move one of those little puffy stickers up top. Just so I had a little bit of everything kind of all around. So I have like chipboard on the bottom, chipboard on the top, sticker on the bottom, sticker on the top, that sort of thing. I just wanted it kind of, I don't know, so it was even, I guess. I talked to my friend about this. She's new to scrapbooking, and she watches a lot of YouTube videos, which is kind of how I started too, is just watching a bunch of YouTube videos. And everyone talks about the visual triangle, and she's so when she asks me like questions and stuff, she'll always be like, oh, should I do this or should I focus more on the visual triangle? And I'm like, I hate those stupid rules. I hate them. Like, I'm sure, yes, there's probably some like, I mean, it does, like, a visual triangle is more pleasing to the eye, whatever. But what's pleasing to my eye is to do whatever I want. It does not necessarily mean following a visual triangle or focusing on just 3 clusters. Like, I think I have, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 clusters on this page. I want to put stuff where I want to put stuff. And if it means it ends up looking like the stickers exploded on my page, then I guess that's what it means. But I also want to use my stuff and I want to enjoy it. And yeah, I like to use my stuff. And if that means not doing a visual triangle, then that means not doing a visual triangle. And I'm fine with that. I don't like the rules. So yeah, but then I decided, okay, I think it needs splatters. And I actually talked to my friend and I was like, hey, do you think it needs splatters? And she thought, yes, splatters. So I decided I was going to do gold splatters, but there wasn't really any gold on this page. So I was like, let's just stick some on. So let's get some more embellishments on there, I guess. So there was a chipboard, like arrow. It's like teal with a gold arrow. And I was like, okay, that'll work. A couple little chipboard, tiny little chipboard hearts that were gold, and then a few chipboard leaves that were gold. So I just kind of tucked those everywhere, and so it made it so it had gold on this page, and then it made more sense for me to splatter gold everywhere. So yeah, I just kind of went in a kind of diagonal pattern throughout, up the page, and I think it turned out really cute. So here's some close-ups for you. You can check out the Pink Paislee blog to see all of the projects I made with this collection, and I will see you guys soon for another video. Have a good day. Bye.